Captured. I feel like my memory, my mind, my thoughts have been captured. Thinking everything should be as it was. My memory, my thoughts, my ability to recall at the drop of a dime. It is all missing. It has been captured by something that used to be a minuscule thought. It wasn't a reality for me, which is now it feels like a nightmare. It feels like if any woman that is going through menopause understands what I'm talking about. Our brain, our mind, our memories, they used to be so sharp and on tact and on task that we could just draw things from our recall without blinking. That is gone. That moment has passed. And these are the things that we don't get prepared for, especially as young women in the Black community. We hear about the change, very vaguely hear discussion about menopause, but to really be prepared for what's the changes that's to come our way, being prepared for what's to come. And it's not just our memory. It's not just the physical changes, the night sweats, the irritation, the inability to do things as sharply and as quickly as we used to. It's the discussion about aging. It's the discussion about the other health conditions that we're susceptible to, like MS, multiple sclerosis, and other deficiencies that we can fall into because of this season of our lives. How do we have the discussion? And furthermore, who do we have it with? And I'm happy that for Gen X, we're finding each other as we find those who are a little more open about what they're experiencing, because we're looking for answers. We want answers, right? We want to understand how to not be here and go through this. But the truth is, it's a very uncomfortable truth. There's no way to not be here unless we're not here. So let's have this conversation about the cause for pause. Why is our body pausing? What is happening during the pause? What do we do in the pause? What do we do with the pause? Because when I tell you, and I say this, in a comedic way, but it's very frightful that Mennie is munching on my memorah. My memory is squashed. My memory doesn't remember as quickly as it should, as often as it should, or at all. And it's like life is coming to me in fragments, and I'm uncomfortable with it. I don't like it. I feel diminished in a way. I feel inadequate in a way. I feel like a part of who I am relied heavily on my mental capacity. Just as a woman, as an entrepreneur, as a force to be reckoned with. That light that's not shining as brightly as it used to. Do I let that happen because it's a part of nature? Or do I lean the other way and just keep fighting to break myself free because I feel like a part of me has been captured? But who are the captives? Who are the captives? There's no one to point a finger at. There's no one to annihilate and tell them to set me free and let me go. Who do you target? Who do you go after and plot against? And then you simply hear it's a part of aging. It's a part of life. But most of the things that we can't put our hands on, most of the things that we have a hard time processing, we'll say, well, we don't get an owner's manual for that. We don't have a book for that. Much like parenting, we don't get manuals to be a parent. We base that on our experiences and what we saw as we were raised, and the things that were traditional and that were just a part of life in our child rearing. And we have repeated that without question, without fail. But this chick here, Mennie come with a manual. It's just that we haven't learned how, who, and when to seek it out. There are professionals available. I've come across phenomenal credentialed professionals who are able to speak to and educate us and teach us about how best to prepare ourselves. How do we prepare our daughters? I do not want my daughters to travel in a tunnel and then hit this brick wall. I want to be able to not only equip myself with information so I know how to function and be prepared moving forward, but I want to give knowledge and information, tools to the generation coming behind us so they're not feeling their way in the dark. Because baby, it's dark over here and I'm not finding anything. I'm not finding nothing, okay? So this is like a real raw moment today, Tuesday. No, it's not even November. Look, see, Mennie, she on the job. Mennie on the job. Today is Tuesday, December 3rd. As the roofers are on my roof, banging, clinging, clacking, banging, slamming. You know, the frustration of me not being able to recall and remember something just kind of overtook me and overwhelmed me. And I decided to record my thoughts. So I'm so thankful for this voice recording app that I'm using on my phone, because it helps me capture these moments, because I promise you I won't remember it later today. Okay? I will not remember it later today. So with that being said, I want to be able to have this dialogue, this conversation, this open forum for women like me who are looking for the answers. I have met phenomenal practitioners who are able to help us have this conversation. So I'm going to load this as my podcast conversation for Wednesday, December 4th. In my next episode after December 4th, we're going to talk about and talk with professionals, credentialed practitioners who can help us find our way as we stab in the dark, looking for answers on how to not be here, but be here. How do we embrace this season of our lives as we are feeling the most free we have ever felt, moving forward, accomplishing our dreams, embracing our power, but we just cannot remember some vital information that used to come to us second nature. How do we press through that part? How do we continue to keep the fire ignited inside of us and our power driven when we are feeling lost a lot of the time about what is happening to us? How do we give attention to those moments of brain fog and realize when we need other assessments done? And maybe is it not menopause? Is it something else that we need to be scanned, treated, or tested for, that we need to be diagnosed? How do we know? We don't. unless we position ourselves. Proximity is the key when maneuvering in life. You have to put yourself proximally in the right place at the right time to get the right information. I want to educate us. I want to equip us. Once you learn something, you won't unlearn it if you choose. Now, there's some things we need to unpack and unlearn, absolutely. But gaining information on how to strive to be better, how to thrive in these moments and embrace what we're proud of as we walk boldly and fantabulously as Gen Xers, as we move into these seasons of our lives, as we are continuing to be spicy and gorgeous and phenomenal, epic women, and maneuver through a questionable time that we don't have information on. We haven't been prepared for. I don't know if other communities talk to their women, their children, their female children. I don't know if other communities have these conversations because I am in my community. I know in my community as beautiful Black women, beautiful Black people, I love us. I love us. But there are some things that we inherently don't talk about. Why? We do not have to keep ourselves away from the information. It is not taboo. It is not anything that we should be embarrassed about. I am learning to embrace that. I am learning to call Mennie out. I have to call Mennie out. So you got to call a thing. And Mennie, baby, that thing, honey, she disrespectful. She's running amok. She kicking tail and taking names later. We have got to call this thing to the carpet and call it what it is. Equip ourselves against the adversary. Mennie is my adversary. If you are going through and fighting her as well, I want us to come together on one accord and call her out. Join me with calling Mennie the thing that she is. And we have to learn how to still be great, still be gorgeous, still be phenomenal, still be inspiring and empowered when we're coexisting with her, because she's not going away. But we can equip ourselves with the tools that we can use so that we can own all the wonders of our greatness and our power while living with her. So don't let her dominate us. Don't let her take your best moments. Don't let her rule over you. Treat her like any other adversary. Be strategic about it. Don't be scared. Don't feel pressured. Be prepared. Let's get prepared together. Because, honey, we going to war. We are at war with Mennie. And I promise you, when we line ourselves up and get the information that we need and the tools that we need, we can conquer her. We can take it over and don't let it take over us. So let's boldly and openly have this conversation, have this discussion. So if you are with me, put your hearts in the comments. Reach out to me. And let's really get social about it. Let's take the blinders off. Let's take the embarrassment. Let's take the blemish, off of this season of our lives, because we're moving forward and we're doing phenomenal things, but we're fighting an invisible adversary that I feel like is taking a lot away from us, and we have to snatch it back the best way that we can. So let's see, what are the tools that we can use? Who do we need to talk to? Let's come together. It's a difficult conversation to have. Yes, indeed, it is. But we are greater together. We're phenomenal when we stand shoulder to shoulder, so we can take the world over. Many and all. We are no respecter of persons or adversaries. Let's take all of our power and put it together. And let's push back on Mennie and make her take her place as we take ours. She doesn't have to be at the forefront of everything that we do. We can still let that exist in the background, because guess what? We don't have a choice. Mennie is going to exist. She's not going to die. But we can starve her. We can starve her. But I don't know if starving her is going to be the right thing to do. And I don't want to give you bad advice. So that's why on the next episode, we are going to be talking to credentialed professionals to tell us exactly how to have these conversations with our providers to help us manage Mennie, who seems to love to munch on our memories. All right, y'all, it's Coachgaylbenson. I am going to sign off because I'm not going to give Mennie too much of my time today, because I am getting ready for a phenomenal weekend of greatness with none other than the Renette Upson Bush this weekend here in Central Florida. I am so excited. And then, in all my greatness, the next weekend I am going to be doing a vending event with the Dr. Harriet Roberson here in Orlando, Florida, on the 13th of December. So listen, follow me on social media so you can get the details for both of these events at Coach_Gayle_Benson on Instagram, Coachgaylbenson on TikTok. Listen, if I can't see you any other time, I will see you next time. Love y'all. Bye.